Thank you for tuning in. Hey, what's up, Hello News family? Welcome to another episode of the Can We Talk podcast weekly news show. It is our third episode, and I am so excited to be back with you guys today. Look, I had to take a little bit of a spring break. I'm going to get into the little details and the reason why we had to do that. Very interesting story, to say the least. But I'm so excited to be back on your screens, giving you guys information, hot topics, and everything in between on our show, especially what's going on in South Florida and beyond. And so we have a really great show lined up for you guys today. Make sure you guys are sharing with us. You know, we said that helps us with the algorithm. So like, share, comment, let us know that you're vibing and that you're feeling the show. Engage with us. This is our show, so we like to communicate and talk with each other. But definitely make sure you are liking and sharing the content so that more people can see what we're doing, and we can grow our audience and continue to do what we do here at High Low News. So you know what I want to do? Some housekeeping. I'm going to sit here and share too. I want to share real quick before we get all deep in the nitty gritty of what's going on. I'm gonna share this to our Facebook group, just so our audience there can engage with us. But yeah, definitely, I am excited to be back. I missed you guys. It has been, as soon as we were getting our momentum, people, the enemy tried to slow us down. I'm gonna get into all of that and the importance of mental health. Hey, what's up? What's up, Auntie 10? How you doing, girl? Make sure y'all hitting those likes. Make sure y'all letting people know that we are on live and we are gonna be back. And today's show, my phone has been blowing up. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where do I want to even begin with some of these hot topics. You know what? I think one that I want to start off with, and this was really one that was a little bit of a juicy one, where our good friends over there at the city of Miami Gardens, they had some news happening last week, but I just wanted to touch on it real quick. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all like, put some hearts in the comments, put some hands, give me some energy. Let me know y'all out there. Make sure y'all share, y'all like, y'all, subscribe. Let people know that we are on, okay? But yeah, my first story is about the city of Miami Gardens. And just in case you guys have not seen what was going on over there, I thought it was very interesting. And I actually like the stance that Rodney Harris took. So here's his stance on.
So if there was any indication that somebody wanted to have a show tonight, the show has been canceled. We are not going to display what we displayed again. There's no item on tonight for a third term, and there will be no item brought for a third term. So if there was any indication that somebody wanted to have a show tonight, the show has been canceled.
Period. Did y'all hear? Look, we're gonna have to start calling him Big Rod, because Mayor Harris. So background, if anybody who hasn't been following what's going on in Miami Gardens, it's been very, very juicy. The news junkie and the local government nerd in me was like, wow, right? So let's just say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, was it late March? Yeah, late March. The Miami Gardens City Council meeting blew up, right? So Councilwoman Katrina Wilson got into it with a resident, Karen Hunter Jackson, and it got nasty. It was Jerry Springer, World Star, Zeus Network like energy, right? And so they're going back and forth. And, Councilwoman Katrina Wilson, she's the elected official. So everybody was shocked to see her, go so extreme. And so her and the other, her and this woman are going back and forth, and the tensions blew up to a head because of the conversation over a third term, and residents said they didn't want it. Katrina was saying that she was just bringing it to the community so they could vote on it. And she said she felt like she had been bullied, but the people in the community said they haven't bullied her. So it just became this messy drama that exploded at a city council meeting. You could go check it out yourself on their YouTube page. They stream their meetings live, right? So there was this whole, you know, craziness that happened, right? And you know, I had a whole breakdown on what happened. So go check out episode 2 of our podcast, right? And so we that happened. And so this was the first meeting back. This was last week, Wednesday. So Mayor Rodney Harris actually wasn't there during that meeting where the whole breakdown and drama happened. So out the gate, Mayor Harris came in and was like, yo, we not finna be doing this, you know, hood, ghetto, just classless, you know, no decorum. Like, we not doing that. This is not how we operate in Miami Gardens. I won't have it. And he was like, and if you didn't know, you know what Ayana was like, not on my watch. He was like, not on my watch, right? And so it was hey, I gotta give Ronnie his things. He let the people know we not going to be doing this. We're not going to have disrespect and all of these things going on in City Miami Gardens. And he also came out swinging and saying there will be no third term. So if anybody had any questions about a third term, he just laid it all bare and let it be known that that wasn't going to be there. And then also too, I thought it was if you go back and watch the last week's city council meeting for Miami Gardens, Commissioner Oliver Gilbert came and he presented information about a bill that's going up to Tallahassee to help Miami Gardens lower their water bill because they're in this fight with the city of North Miami. Part of the city gets their water from North Miami. There's some price gouging and different things going on. So he came and spoke about that. But he also kind of let it be known, like, he said something at the end of his speech, and even though he was talking about the city and what they had accomplished with that bill, and he was also talking about his trip that he took with the spring breakers, students for spring break on this Black History tour, he ended his message, his special report with, you know, pretty much with a message of like, Miami Gardens, you know, we hold ourselves to a certain standard. We have a certain decorum, a certain class about us. And he didn't say these things verbatim, but that was definitely the energy he was giving. And it definitely was giving like, yo, whatever happened at that meeting last time is not going to happen here. And we need to make sure that just as leaders and elected officials of our community, we need to make sure we're on our best behavior. So y'all, the people in Miami Gardens, I've never seen Miami Gardens this lit before, but I'm glad to see from what that meeting showed me was that things came back to normalcy. And even I'll give Katrina Wilson, her Councilwoman Katrina Wilson, her kudos, because she sent an apology. She did a video and she also addressed and apologized for her behavior during the meeting. And so to me, it seems like things are back to you know, normalcy with how they conduct their meetings. And, you know, also too, the residents, they were there voicing still their concerns respectfully and making sure that everybody, you know, voices were heard. But it seemed like business as usual as what I know City of Miami Gardens to be. That meeting reset the timeline, so to speak, because Big Ross said, not here, not with me. We not going to be doing all this yelling and fighting and throwing chairs. This is not the Maury show, okay? He was like, we are not doing it. And yeah, that reset. And here's the thing. You don't want your elected officials having all this drama. That stuff takes away from the policy, the work, and initiative that they're supposed to be doing. They work for the community. So when you see things like that, it is a bad taste in people's mouth. It does cause and concern, because it's like, we don't need friction to that point, because it takes us away from the work that we're supposed to be doing for the residents of the city. And so it had to be reset. And Rodney, I give him kudos for coming back in and setting that tone. Yeah. So our next story that I want to get into, and another person who comes in swinging, and he don't play no games with y'all. This is from a school board member, Dr. Steve Gallen, and I want you guys to hear this message he had for
and processes in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Make sure we get it back going so y'all hear from the beginning.
Through the chair, we're not implementing any illegal DEI procedures and processes in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Through the chair, Mr. Attorney, are we? Any illegal DEI procedures and policies? Are we implementing any illegal DEI policies and procedures in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools?
Through the chair, not that I'm aware of, no.
And the rapidity by which some of these executive orders are coming forward, and I'm not here to make this a political issue. This is a policy proposition for me, but I'm going to call a thing a thing. And to your point, Mr. Alonzo, at some point we have to call a thing a thing. I've wrestled with this whole notion of DEI, critical race theory, many of these things that are not being taught or implemented in Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Many of these things that in some cases, DEI specifically has been cited as a dog whistle for Black. And anybody who knows what DEI is, the most significant benefactors of DEI in the world were white women, were not Blacks. And part of the executive order is speaking to complying with the Civil Rights Act. The Civil Rights Act is a law. An executive order is just that, an executive order. So we're in compliance with the federal laws with respect to Civil Rights Act of 1964. We can go on to so many different other acts and laws that are on the books. I would never support anything that will compromise not only federal funding, but funding for children, for teachers, for the effective and successful operation of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So Vice Chair Colucci, I'm glad that you raised the issue. We want to make sure that we are in compliance and don't want to jeopardize any related funding. But I think we also have to, as we, with our capable staff, continue to monitor these things that come out on an almost weekly, daily basis, put them in the proper context, because you know we'll be at this nonstop. And one of the things I've been very, very proud of is that I've been able to serve with board members who keep the main thing. Because when we talk about federal funding and the implications that it has, it's not restricted to implications in certain zip codes. Poor children are in districts 1 through 9. Special needs children.
And so I'm gonna cut it there, and you can watch the full video and read our article on highlowNewsMiami.com and go to our social media pages and watch the full video of him talking about this thing. And here's the tea. He calls out DEI policies, and he's saying you're using it as a dog whistle for Black. And what we're not going to do is do that here in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And he's also too making sure, like, hey, we are in compliance with what the federal law is, but we're not going to play these games with DEI. You know, we know the benefits of DEI and inclusivity, in our schools and in our staff. And so he goes on to even explain how diversity allow for a representative school board, because that's how you're able to have members representing different districts. And that's not what it was before. He goes on and tells the time when that happened, but that was something that was voted on by the people so that the districts in our community could be represented by people from those communities. And he was saying, because of that, we have a now representative and diverse board. And before that time in history, and I'm not sure if that I think he said it was in the 80s or 90s. It was something kind of like recent when he said it. It wasn't like a long time ago when they decided to have these representative board members. And so I want to give Dr. Gallen kudos for breaking this down and tracing the roots of equity in the historic vote in Miami-Dade County schools that allow for representative government, where we can have diverse people like himself and Dr. Benjos Mendengal. And he said even at the time there were, I don't think very little Blacks and Hispanic or none at all, right? At the time. And so, hey, y'all, I see y'all coming in. Hey, Kilroy. Hey, Tamila. Julius. Sorry, y'all don't mess up my train of thought. And I don't even know what this means, JJ. Get these blacks out of here messing up our schools. You with the jokes, right? But yeah, so he's talking about these things. He's like, call a thing a thing. Like, we're not going to play around with words and things like that. And so go read that full article. We have some fresh articles on hallonewsmiami.com, breaking down policies, breaking down news, sharing information for the community. And these were the two, some of the two top stories that we had that came out this past weekend in our email newsletter. Also, too, there is another story. I'm trying to get the tea, Tony. Hey, y'all. Hey, Terrell. Yeah, so these are things in our community that I want us to make sure that we are keeping our eye on the pulse. We're going to keep bringing y'all stories, keep dropping the tea. People have been first of all, the best thing that the Miami Gardens situation did was it allowed people to say, hey, I've seen things going on in my community, similar things, and I want you to look into this. Can you investigate this? Can you help us understand what's going on? And so City of West Park, city of Riviera, Riviera Beach, the people are dropping tips, okay? And they're saying our elected officials have been acting crazy in our meetings. Can you discuss this and let us know what's going on and put a light to this and just, share the news and share local government. And I like to see that y'all are into this political news just like me. It's not always about the drama. We don't just share the drama, but we're going to break down the hot button issues here. And please keep sending us news tips. Please keep letting us know, hey, Janae, can you look into this? Can you look into that? Because that's how our community grows. That helps me. That helps you. And here's the thing. I was having a conversation with a friend just before this, and it's like, I'm not on anybody's side but the people, the community, and the truth. And so for me, I'm not here to just be like, oh, I'm on this person's side or that person's side. It's about what is the meat and potatoes of this? How does this information help the community? How does that help residents and voters make the best decisions for their everyday life? And here's the thing too, giving a voice to the voiceless. A lot of times people felt like they didn't have anybody to talk about or illuminate these issues that were going on in their community. Hello News is that place. The Can We Talk podcast, our weekly news show, is that place. So keep sending us the tea. I see some shady people in the comments talking about you only want the tea. Pastor Quincy, don't come on here cutting up in my comments, okay? Don't come trolling me. Thank you for watching, Pastor Quincy. Thank you, Kilroy. Hey, yes, there are lots of things happening in these cities and the mainstream media is not picking up. Thank you. Same thing to you, Miami Gardens now. Kudos to you. I'll keep an eye on your content as well. Yes, they should keep your sanity. That part, you need to be informed and engaged. I'm just going through the comments. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yes, give me some likes, give me some shares, give me some comments, give me some energy in the chat. That helps me. So I appreciate y'all. This is, like I said earlier, this is our show, right? And so one thing that I love to do on our show, hey, Auntie, thank you, Auntie Rudine, that's my people in the comments. But what I was saying is, what I like to do to keep people engage and to share our platform, we always like to highlight great people doing great things in the community. And I have an amazing guest coming up who has a dope event coming up this weekend. And before we bring her on, I want to pay some bills because I forgot to do that at the top of the show. So as I make sure, hey, this is how we pay our bills. So make sure y'all watch these ads, support our advertisers, because that helps us. And when we come back, we'll be jumping into our interview with Kamilah Cross, who has an amazing event called Beauty in Blazers, who is honoring and celebrating women with her conference. And you guys do not want to miss it. So sit tight while we pay these bills real quick, and we'll be right back.
When the last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it.
Oh,
I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. You know, we can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay.
it.
Full checkup once a year, and make sure you ask the doctors to get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay.
Shout out to our advertisers. Thank you to Baptist Health, to Young Talent Big Dreams, powered by the Children's Trust, and to the ABFF, American Black Film Festival. All of those are amazing events and amazing initiatives. Thank you to our advertisers. Make sure y'all support them. Get the information that you can use. And if you do, check them out. Tell them Hello News sent you. I want to give some more shout outs before I bring my guest on. I see Claudienne, Chief Pride in the building. Claudienne, she still got her Chief Week logo up. And also, to salute to Carroll City Chiefs and Miami Central Rockets. I know Claudienne is going to kill me for lumping the two, but they had amazing alumni picnics this past Saturday, celebrating culture, school pride in our community. And nobody does it like the 305. I'm sorry. And I'll give Carroll City this. They started it all. The alumni picnics as we know it, that started with Carroll City. Got to give them their things. Thank you, friend. Look, I had to get it together. If anybody watched the last episode and saw how my bangs was all chopped up and screwed up in my hat, and I was looking crazy, I said, I got to have my hair cute this time. Thank you for pausing. Oh, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it. So y'all, like I said, we have a very special guest in the building, right? And she's doing some amazing things. She's a dope woman, and she has a super event called Beauty in Blazers. I love that name. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the show Miss Kamilah Cross. Hey, what's up, girlfriend?
Hey, today, how you doing?
I'm
How
good.
are you? Good. Well, listen, thank you so much for having me on with you guys. You know, so far I'm taking in all the juice. I'm getting all the tea.
Look, we like to do that. And look, you have some tea, some juice, some information for the audience. And like, I'm so happy for you to join us. And we'll jump right in. Tell us, Beauties and Blazers, what is it all about?
Wow. So my purpose, what I'm walking in, is I'm a therapist by trade, right? So I am a licensed clinical social worker. I work with a lot of professional women. We work on mental health matters, right? We'll talk about it like that. And we work on anxiety, depression. So I realize that a lot of times women come in and they don't really have a safe space, right? These women are usually the go-to women. These are the women who kind of check all the boxes. They have it all together, right? You know, sometimes we put on a mask, but they didn't really have a safe space enough to kind of just lean. So Beauty and Blazers was really created from that, you know. Short story, I went to a friend's birthday party. It was her 30th a few years ago, and we were all having, you know, a whole women's get together. We were talking about love and life and everything that comes with when a group of women get together and are comfortable. And she was saying, why don't you do a retreat? And at the time I was like, I don't know about that, because I had just started my private practice. So of course the answer was no. The answer was hard no. And she was just really at me, and she was like, listen, come on, let's do this. You can do this. I'll help you. And I wanted to do it small, but hence, you know, 5 years later, this is the third one. Beauty and Blazers is where it's at, right? So me walking in purpose and obedience, it has grown to this whole conference where we talk about mental health, but now we're getting into financial literacy and financial legacy, right? And then I always have a spiritual component to it as well. So it's something that, you know, I birthed. This is my baby, you know, but I'm glad I could bring it to the community.
I love it, love it. And you know, when we connected through our good girlfriend, Ty Live, who's amazing PR and event producer and TV producer, I found out like she's amazing, and she connected us, and it was instant like chemistry. It was so much like what you said, like, because this is our first time even like seeing each other like face to face. The connection was so deep. I felt like we had already met before. Like that's how crazy the energy was and how much I wanted to support this event. And so that's why I thought it was important to have you on and be a media partner for the event as well. And so for people who are interested, who want to come, tell them what that day will be like. Take them from when they walk, they park the car, take the keys out, they jumping out, they walking in. What can they expect?
Listen, I want big energy. I want big energy. We're having a vendor marketplace. So as soon as you walk in the lobby, you see a row of vendors, and they're going to be, selling their amazing products, geared towards women. So a little bit of everything will be in the lobby. So before you even walk in the conference, you have a whole abundance of things to choose for. We're going to have music playing. We'll also have, once you get into the conference, we're going to have just big energy, music playing. You'll get a chance to network with other professional women. We're going to go ahead and really have it structured, right? So there'll be panel style, there'll be workshops. We're going to actually give you guys hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have food. Good food makes everything come together better too.
That part.
So we really and truly put a lot of thought into just making sure that we are providing you. I wanted you to come in with your hearts open and just leave full. I wanted you to leave full in your hearts, your minds, and your bellies, right? I wanted to touch on that too. So that's definitely, that's all that you're gonna get at the conference, and definitely a lot of good connections and relationships. The last few years that we've done this, there have been relationships developed, partnerships developed. People have asked for, from year to year, they're like, when are you doing it? So I know that, I really do feel, just based on feedback too, that we're making changes and helping people to grow and heal.
Love it. And tell us about some of the panel discussions and some of the guest speakers. If you're looking at the screen, you see, I pulled up the flyer so you can have more information, but also too, you'll see some of the amazing guest speakers and panelists that are going to be there. So tell us some of the topics that'll be discussed and some of the key people that'll be there leading those conversations.
Oh, yeah. So our first panel is going to be our mental health panel. So that will consist of myself as well as Dr. Venus. She is she has her doctorates, and she's a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So she has an abundance of years of working with individuals with mental health matters, right? The second panel is going to consist of helping you develop and grow your business. So we have business strategists. Miss Jessica Grant is on there, Miss Samantha Oatley, Kamilah Jolly. She's actually a lawyer, right? So she's going to be talking about intellectual properties and how to structure your business. Miss Samantha Oatley, she's actually a tax strategist, right? Then there's also Miss Samantha. There's another Miss Samantha. She's an entrepreneur, right? She's a serial entrepreneur. She runs several successful businesses, sits on all kind of boards, so all these women are coming with a wealth of information and knowledge. And then our third panel is going to consist of a realtor, which is Mr. Schamberg. She's been doing real estate for an abundance of years. There's Miss Gina. Gina also is a broker now. So she's been doing real estate for years. We developed a brokerage firm that she's now doing. There's also Miss Melissa Wilson. She's actually an attorney. She specializes in wills and trusts, and she's going to make sure that you guys, once you get the money, you know how to kind of filter it right? So that we don't lose it. We don't lose it. And then we have a financial planner. He's the only guy on our panel, right? But he's really, really good. He's going to help you to just learn more about questions you may have about life insurance. And he's also a mortgage broker, a little jack of all trades kind of, right? In the financial market. So this is going to be an abundance of information that you'll get from people who are walking in the field, right? And then the last part of it, right, because this is definitely spiritually based, right? I don't know if I'm offending anyone, but that's a part of my makeup. I can never leave out.
This is your event. You can do what you want to do.
You better believe, it is. I'm going to be on. It is what it is. I'm going to always include God in this, because it was only through my obedience in doing this that this has been birthed. So I'm going to have my amazing prophetess who's going to come in there, Dr. Tequila Johnson, and she is going to wrap everything around. The conference is called Unapologetically Her. That's our theme of it. So you're going to definitely be in a room where everybody, I want them to show up as themselves.
I love the fact that you have created a space of intention, and you have the whole woman to me, or the whole person in mind. So it's not just, the mental, you have like financial things and business and networking and the vendor market. To me, it feels like a place that's a safe space for, and I know men are welcome, but it feels like a very safe, curated space for women, especially women of color or Black women. Tell me why that's important to you to create that space.
Wow, because I feel like a lot of times we're told and encouraged to do the right thing, right? Check the boxes, go to school, get the education. But after we get it, sometimes we're not told what to do with maybe the money that we get, or how to really navigate life. How do we even balance life, right? How do I show up as a mother? How do I show up as a wife? How do I show up as a CEO or business owner? We don't really get we don't get the tools sometimes, naturally at least, on how to really navigate that. So I wanted to bring people who walk in this field, who's able to work, who work with individuals all the time in their arena, and guide and provide guidance, right? Being a therapist, I've been doing this for a few years. I don't want to date myself, but this is about like 10 almost graduated about 20 years ago. So I've seen a little bit of a lot, right? And I've seen amazing women. I've worked in different markets, but amazing women who all have something that they're struggling with, but they may have just dealt with it differently. I have this thing, I'm like, that's why I don't really judge, right? I've worked with people who have addictions. I'm like, some people drug it away, some people sex it away, right? I'm in a safe space to say that, right? And I have this thing where I'm like, some people success it away. We've all had that boss who, we may have misinterpreted their aggression, right? Or maybe not. Maybe they just super aggressive. But there's always a why behind those behaviors. So I'm like, I want to create a space where, we kind of start understanding each other's why and giving each other some grace.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I had some mic trouble. My mic died on me, so sorry about that. But no, all those things that you're saying is especially in this climate, so much going on in the world, and so to have that space, and like you said, especially as women, we feel like we got to take everything going. I feel like this is a place for us to woo-saw, but also learn and build each other up.
Definitely, that is definitely the intention. Because it's okay. And I have this thing. I'm like, we wear a mask. I don't care what anyone says. We keep it real, but sometimes we got to put the mask on to keep our sanity and sometimes to keep peace. But I want us to be able to, at least when we're able to take off be able to sit with ourselves and have a safe space to sit with that as well. So this was really intentional. You're right. Very intentional on allowing women to heal, to grow, and to learn.
Love it. Love it. So tell people about tickets. How can they attend? What are the prices? How they could get the tickets? Give them all the tea and the details on how they can attend.
All right. So let me tell you guys, you can find the tickets on Eventbrite. It's under Beauties in Blazers. Right now the event is on Saturday. It's going to be at the Scott Galvin Center in North Miami. The address is 1600 Northeast 126th Street. What I'm going to do for these, Halo's amazing viewers, I'm going to give you a discount code.
Ooh, yes.
I'm feeling generous today. Let me say.
Come on, discount code. We like that. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put that up for the remainder of the show. Let me create a banner real quick for you. So what's our discount code?
So the discount code is going to be Friends25.
Okay, Friends, is that, do I have to cap that, or what we got to do?
No, it should go through. And with this, you're going to go ahead and I think you're like $20 off the ticket, because my team put it together. So I think it's a $20 discount.
Discount Celebrating Visitors Conference. I'm putting that in the on the screen for y'all so that you guys can purchase your tickets and tell them Halo News sent you. So Friends, what was the discount code again?
Friends25.
Friends25. Okay. So let me scroll that at the bottom of the thing. Do we got that correct? Bam. Discount code for Beauty and Blazers Conference, Friends25. There we go. Yes. Come on, y'all. Make sure y'all go and get some spiritual enrichment, edification for your soul, for your mind, for your business. Yes, all the things. What's up, Ibrade in the comments? Hey, yes, we love a good discount.
Me too.
Love it, love it, love it. Kamilah, before I let you go, is there anything else you want the audience to know about the event? Ways they can connect with you, follow the brand on social media, drop all the things, let them know.
Okay, so definitely, I'm building my social media. You can follow us on Instagram at Beauties in Blazers. Also, if I'm a therapist and I love what I do, I'm definitely walking in purpose. So, anyone that may need therapy or kind of having some struggles, you can definitely send me an email. You can email me at Kamilah, Kamilah at yourworthllc.com. My therapeutic practice is called Your Worth LLC. You can also, look at our website, so I want to make sure that I'm allowing and leaning support as well. If there's anyone that needs support in the areas of mental health as well. That's definitely my passion, my purpose. So yes, I want you guys to come to the conference. I want you to get the healing. And if you need a little bit more, you have any friends who need more, I am taking new clients. So I'm here for you.
We always need a good mental health professional, okay? Because the life is lifing. And we had an offline conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I shared with you and Ty about something, traumatic that happened to me. And I'm gonna share that with the audience in a little bit. But yeah, like that was just a reminder of like the importance of the work that you do and like how people need to really, really take care of their mental health, because you just never know. And also too, having grace with one another, because you never know what someone else is going through.
Definitely. And I even want to add having grace with ourselves. Sometimes, listen, that whole concept of perfection and gotta get it 100%. Listen, flaws is what make us who we are, right? Adversity introduces a man to himself. I don't remember who said it, but one of those amazing motivational speakers. And that is what I have held on to, because I had that whole concept of control, right? A lot of us do. A lot of us women, we hold on to control. We hold on to perfection. And where does it get us? Stressed out, anxiety, depression. No, let it go. You're not supposed to do life perfect, right? You do it to the best of your ability. You live, you learn, you grow.
That part. Definitely. Man, this is a great conversation. Kamilah, you're now a friend of the show, so please let me know anytime you want to come back, talk about any events you have. Even if there are some mental health hot topics that you want to break down for the audience, please come back to the show. I would love to have you back on. And before I let you go, plug the event again. Let people know how they could get their tickets, how they could follow you, get more information, all the things. Share it with the people.
All right. So look me up on Eventbrite, guys. Eventbrite under Beauties in Blazers. You can go ahead and get the ticket. The discount codes are there. Remember, it's going to be all of those amazing panels. You're going to get the food. Food matters. I'm sorry, it does. You want to have some good food at a conference. Right? There's free parking before the conference. You want to go ahead and there's amazing vendors for you guys to buy different items with. So it's going to be listen, I know it's going to be an amazing conference. Not because it's mine, but I feel it. I know it.
Yes, and I'm wishing you all the positive energies and a successful event. This year, our wires got crossed, and I was supposed to host it, guys, but I couldn't do it because of traveling. But definitely still wanted to make sure I got the word out and shared the story with my audience and was a media partner for the event.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. We appreciate
and hopefully next year we could make it work, and I'm hosting it and I'm there, and me and the Halo fam is there in the building with you.
Thank you. We truly appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you more. Thank you so much. Kamilah, thank you so much for joining the show, being on the Can We Talk podcast. God bless with your event, and we'll see you next time on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh man, that was dope, guys. Isn't she cool? First of all, let me make sure the mic check is good. And my audio good, because my mic died, child, in the middle of the situation. As I said, I'm on the road. So thank you, Ty. Love you. Gotta have you on the show, and you and your baby on the show. Thank you so much for connecting me and Kamilah. Gotta give Ty her flowers. She's a girl's girl. She always connecting me and motivating me, and she's just amazing at what she does. Okay, so good with the audio. Thank you, JJ. Not my cousin, the guest speaker. Just check the flyer. Oh wow. Okay. Thank y'all. So Definitely going to leave up that discount code, Friends25, Beauties and Blazers, happening April 19th in North Miami. We have all the information there. If you want to scroll back, especially replay game, you look at the flyer, has all the information. And we also too have articles on our website and our social media pages with information on the event. So y'all go check it out. Support local events, support Black owned, support women owned, support our own, okay? Because that's how we grow, okay? Thank you guys for letting me know the mic check is good. My mic sounds nice. Yeah, thank y'all. So back to the hot topics. First of all, you girls in West Park, the girls in West Park are trying to snatch my wig. I'm jumping right into it. Because we did our good news with the shouting out with Carol City. That's when we try to do our good news segment. I did that before. I'm jumping into it. Y'all tell them girls on the West Park City Council, come holler at me. Let's see if they bold enough to step in the hot seat and do an interview with me so we can talk about some of the things going on in the city of West Park. But you girls don't scare me, okay? Nah, I'm a lover, not a fighter, guys. As you can see, my set is not even what it's supposed to be, right? No. So let me give y'all this tea on West Park, right? So I'm minding my African-American, Black American Princess Babs business, right? And I get a call, and then I get a text, and it's like, hey, I think you need to look into the city of West Park because, oh, yeah. Wait, y'all, tag her, because she was getting spicy with me, y'all. Councilwoman Katrina Touchstone. Come on, touch the stone. Come on. So yeah, let me get back to how I even got dragged into all of this, right? So yes, who was Tisha Brown? Tisha, who was she tagging people? Come on, tag them. Look, if you bold, let me send you this link and hop in this right now. We can have a conversation, right? So back to how I got dragged into this. So I get a text and they're like, hey, I saw your coverage on Miami Gardens. They ain't got nothing on the city of West Park. I said, do tell. Because if anybody noticed the type of coverage we're doing this year, we are coming for the truth. We come for information, especially when it comes to local municipalities and what's going on state, a little bit of federal, but state and local and county, like we gonna be in it, okay? And so thank you again to our funders, the Borealis Foundation, the Racial Equity and Journalism Fund, Press Forward, the Miami Foundation, and the Pivot Fund. Because of funding like that, we can stay independent, we can tell the truth, and we can do what we need to do to serve our community and not be beholden and threatened or, on somebody else's payroll. It helps us to be able to do the work that we do. So got to give a shout out to our funders, right? So back to my story. Sorry for the sidetrack. So I get this text and this lady's like, yo, you got to check out these City of West Park meetings. So I'm like, okay, I will. And here's the thing. I want to dig more into Broward County because you girls have it going on. But also, too, I just want to learn more about the community. Also, too, Papa Keith's run for City of Miramar commission made me more interested in what's going on for the Black people in underserved communities in Broward County. And so I started getting these tags and texts and emails and documents. And I said, whoa, you girls, slow it down. Okay. My edges can only take so much. Okay. So then I went to a page. It was a page called, matter of fact, let me go to the situation since I got it on my Facebook. Hopefully it don't give me too much with the, because I am streaming on my Facebook page right now. So let's see if she come up. So I want to get everybody's names right of the group. So there's a group in West Park, and they came on my post because I made something about this. I made a post about City of West Park because that's how I get it started on my personal page. And they started tagging me and things. And I saw something that they posted about. Like one of, it didn't even say an elected official. It was just like, make sure you get engaged and we need to be active in our community. We need to go to our meetings. They had like graphics. I love when community members are civically engaged and organized. And so I shared it or whatever. And I was looking through and looking at some of the posts that they were making. It clearly was a group of concerned citizens or people who seem like they're in a little bit of opposition with the current city council. So I'm, digging through, doing what I'm doing, a little light research. I ain't dig into the girls. And so I shared this post, and this is when it got a little tricky. Dang, see, I'm on here, so it's not loading as fast. Not cronies. Tisha Brown, you from West Park? Let me know. If you're from West Park in the chat and you tuned in, let me know, and make sure you share it with other people. Dang, it's not pulling up, y'all, because of the video. Let me see if I can get her up. Here it is. No, wait. Here it is. Okay. So let me share this with y'all, because the girls was on my neck about this, and I didn't even know it was that deep. So let me share my screen with y'all, because we like to do a little show and tell. So I went on West Park Strong. They commented on one of my posts. Who messing with the internet? Somebody blacked me out. The West Park girls messing with my internet. So this is
local accountability alert. West Park. In November, a vote confirmed that the city commissioner misused city funds and was ordered to pay back the money. Fast forward to after the election, but the new majority vote on her side, the same commissioner brought the same issue back for a revote. And guess what? Her new alibis voted for the city to reimburse her the money she misused. Let that sink in. Misused public funds, your tax dollars, was voted to pay it back. Got new allies in, and was then reimbursed by the city. Is this the West Park you want? Visit our page and sign the petition. Local accountability alert. West Park.
So I shared this. It doesn't mention anybody. I said, hey, just in case y'all think I'd be making stuff up, concerned citizens be fighting and holding people accountable, but it's time. But they don't have marketing promo skills to reach out to people in their community. This is why local news matters. So I didn't even dig in to see like what all of it was about, but just for sharing that for people to know. And hold on, we good to go. What's up with our camera, girl? Can y'all see me? Oh, these people don't mess with my internet, y'all. Look, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? The people don't messed up my, they don't pull my internet. So I ain't even finished. I can't even, wait, can y'all hear me? Y'all can't hear me? Let me see if the audio, the girls is messing with my stuff. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Can y'all hear me? I'm good. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Y'all see that? Didn't I tell y'all that when I start digging into stuff, don't let the enemy, don't let it come in here, okay? Don't let it come in here, okay? Because they'll try to get your girl, okay? And we not about it. We finna keep digging in, all right? So under that post, go to my Facebook page. I don't even want to share a screen or nothing right now, because I don't want her to start acting crazy. What's her name? Matter of fact, let me go to the thing so I could read the situation, right? So under that post, Councilwoman Katrina Touchstone comes in and she leaves this, right? She said, this is a public notice to cease and desist the ill and fallacious dissemination of information surrounding the allegation of misuse of any public funds. It is on the record that our finance director, Chris Wallace, publicly indicated that these malicious and blatantly false allegations are unfounded. There's never been any formal complaint or allegation or findings of guilt surrounding any allegations of misuse of public funding, whereas the issue at hand, whether I violated an internal P card policy, there were no violations to F.S112.316. Therefore, this notice is to all parties that any and all dissemination of knowingly false information will be pursued legally for defamation of character and slander. Electronically signed this day, 16th of April of the year 2025 by Commissioner Dr. Katrina Touchstone, City of West Park. This is what she put under my post, right? So go find the post where I shared that video. It's from yesterday, and she's in my comments, right? So I laughed at the comment and I said, lady, have your attorney send me this as an official notice with proof that this isn't true. Your comment doesn't mean shit. And shit here and doesn't scare me at all. I'm going to keep digging into this story. Residents in your city sent me this and I shared it on my personal page, which I have the right to do. And my post doesn't mention you at all. So I'm not sure why you're even here. Right. And I said, but if you want to have a real conversation about this, feel free to step to me. Correct. Don't jump on my post accusing me of stuff and you haven't kept the same energy with the people accusing you. I don't see your comments on any of their posts. Right. So I'm gonna keep digging. Tisha said, here's the thing, my DMs stay open. You could send me information. I want to be able to share the whole story. But what I do have, and the residents of those pages, they're showing their faces. They're saying, hey, we're part of this. So send the documents. Send it over. I'ma still dig. Send me a coin on a records request and send me the documents. Okay. Send it to me, Tisha. So I'm like, when I see Katrina Touchstone, Councilwoman Touchstone in my comments, I'm like, girl, who sent you here? What are you doing? Like, I didn't even mention you. I don't even know. You just implicated your whole self on this post because nobody even was pointing anything at you. It doesn't mention you. I don't mention you. What are you talking about, lawsuit? And then she also too did some other stuff offline that was goofy. And I'm like, lady, so anybody know Katrina Touchstone, tell her to come have a conversation with me, woman to woman. Okay. Don't throw around Chat GPT legal prompts that you got. Talk about and here's the thing, baby. I'm not that legal shit don't scare me. I've been a journalist for 13, 14, a couple more than a decade. I'm not good with mental math. But this ain't the first time I've been threatened by a politician who feel like some shit ain't right and all these like this is not new to me. This is what y'all do to try to scare people and bully people, and it's not gonna happen with me, baby. But because somebody told me you could be good people, we can have a conversation and you can let me know what's going on and give context and give your side. But to say, but to come at me with the lawsuit and bringing other people, innocent parties in it, we not gonna do that, Miss Touchstone, because we will touch some stones, okay, baby? We will touch the stones, okay? But what you're not gonna do is threaten me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on and why. Here's the thing. I'm always like, why? What is the reason why? And here's the other thing on the flip side of that. I made a comment. What's up, Nate? I made a comment to the people behind these things. I was like, who's behind this? Put a face to this, because I don't like people who throw rocks and hide their hands. If you're going to stand on something and accuse somebody of something, do it with your whole chest. Do it with your whole face, all of that stuff. Because that's not fair either to just be like, I'm going to say this, but I want to hide behind a page. I haven't seen who was behind We Are West Park Strong or whatever that group, but there's a homeowner association where I do see those people also sharing information as well. And they're public. The people behind that group, like, they ain't hiding from shit. So that's the tea. Allegedly, some of the story. Oh, child, this lady don't sweat it out my edges. Look at my hair poofing up. Touch the stones. You don't got me sweating out my hair. The tea behind this drama with West Park is something to do with Tisha, they hiding. Okay, so clearly, Tisha, you F with Touchstone. So okay. Give us the tea. Why are they doing this to her? Because people don't do stuff for no reason. Let me know why they doing it. Let us know with your full chest. So allegedly, there's been some drama going on with the city manager and wanting to get him fired, and this stuff is going on in West Park. So you got like the city council split. Some people want him to stay, some people don't. So it sounds like Opalaka circa 2013, 14, like just that city manager BS, right? So they're going back and forth about that. But The misappropriation from funds is some tea that I got, or alleged tea, was that the reason why some residents are doing that, they're saying that Touchstone used funding for an event that was outside of the city of West Park, and she said that it was justified because she was there, and their rules dictate that you don't spend funding outside of their city. And the reason why the funding is an issue: when you don't do your job, what happens? You get fired. Okay, Tisha, you got to give me tea, because we ain't finna just keep doing that. You got to give me some tea. If you want to DM me and give me some more stuff or have a side conversation, we can, but I don't even know what that means. So some background on the city of West Park that, was shared with me is that they have a limited budget, very small city. So they don't have a lot of resources and funds. Their elected officials get paid less than $4,000 a year for that job, which is crazy, because when you think about what elected officials do, the fact that they get paid so little, it's mind-boggling. But that's also why an issue in local politics and just politics in general, because the pay isn't substantial on the local level. You get people who who are backed by millionaires or billionaires, or you get rich people themselves to run, because the amount of work that goes into it, you don't get paid adequately, and the average person doesn't have the time to run their own family and their house and their own job and then do another job serving the community for less than $4,000 a year. That's nuts, right? So City of West Park has a limited budget, and I think they get about $300 a month or something like that, like in discretionary funds to spend. And so allegedly Touchstone spent $1,200 on this event to be a sponsor. That's pretty much damn near half of her budget a year. And so that caused some cause and concerns. And from what the chatter and the drama and the rumors are saying, that started the root of this back and forth and misuse of funds and this and that and this petition and all this other stuff. And so at this point, I'm just digging in to see what's true, what's not true. I have a lot of documents to dig through. People are sending me, so I'm gonna just be putting the facts together, and y'all have a report coming through. But that's the root of this drama. Of course, Touchstone is asserting her innocence and saying that these people are just attacking her and coming after her. I still don't understand why they're doing that. Like, I don't know why they're just choosing you to do this to. And that's the part that's missing here. I do know that sometimes in political cases, when somebody maybe wants power to get somebody out, they may start throwing stones at the elected official. So that does happen. And so I'm trying to figure out, is this a group, as Tisha Brown is saying, they're cronies or they're hiding? Is this a group of people who wants another elected official to be in power, and they're trying to throw rocks at Miss Touchstone? Or did Miss Touchstone have her hand in the cookie jar and misuse funds, and she's getting away with a technicality? You get what I'm saying? Like, all of it is messy drama. To me, I'm like, who does this serve, y'all fighting like this? The residents in West Park don't deserve all of this back and forth. This, you did that. Like, are y'all passing smart policies? Are y'all passing initiative that improves the development in West Park, home ownership, bringing business to West Park, keeping crime down, and issues that matters to Katrina's a local. I caught that as well. Everyone's getting money in the back door. And so, again, another allegation with nothing. You got to give me some tea, Tisha Brown. So it's just, what are you doing to serve the people, correct? And so we gonna figure it out, West Park. But what y'all did do, you woke me up. And Katrina Touchstone, I'm gonna look and see what you're up to. We're gonna be good friends. But I'm not here to break down Black people, especially, I don't care or want to do that, right? So I would like to have a conversation with you. And if you could talk to anybody who knows me, knows that I'm not on that bullshit. Like, I just want to know what happened. I want to know the truth. And if people are making these claims, what's going on, who's behind it and why. But to me, the reporter in me and the history in me of covering local government, history has shown that residents a lot of times don't have the voices to share information. They see something that is a problem or problematic to them. They want to voice it. And a lot of times they are on the side of right. And a lot of times politicians are on the side of some shaky shit. So that's why when you see stuff like that, you want to dig into it to make sure you know the root of it, because let's call a thing. A lot of times politicians don't be doing right by the people. And I'm not saying that that's what Katrina Touchstone is doing. I'm just saying it warrants an investigation. It warrants people to have the truth and understand what's going on in their community. And what I want to do with these conversations, with our investigative coverage on High Low News, is give people the facts so that when they go into the voting booths, when they're going and they're civically engaged, that they can make a decision that is right for them, that they have all the information that says, hey, I would go back and look up articles and see what you've actually done in our community, how you behaved, what you did to uplift us, what you improved, how you communicated and problem solved with us. And a lot of times our Black elected officials are in our urban core cities. They don't have the scrutiny in the magnifying glass on them. They work in secrecy and silos. And a lot of times it's just a few concerned citizens that are like keeping their eye on things. And a lot of times the masses in that community don't know what's going on. And so for me, it's my mission to just help people get information so they can know what's going on and make the best decisions. I ain't here to assassinate nobody. I'm not here to deal with the, petty, salacious drama. I do get sent stuff. Let's be clear. I'm keeping it political because I got pictures. Let's just say this. There's an elected official whose husband, I got sent pictures of him and his panty drawers on the beach with a man. They're elected officials I've seen fussing and fighting with each other about to go to blows. I don't report that stuff. I don't post that stuff. That don't move me. This is not the shade room. This ain't TMZ. This ain't what we here for. However, if you misappropriating funds, if you're not doing right by the community, if you yelling and tussling at a commission meeting and not doing the work of the city, of the voters, by your taxpayers, we're going to report it. We're going to report it. And here's the thing. Yep, JJ, I said what I said. And this is just a place for us to have these conversations. Here's the thing. Nobody is beyond having grace and understanding. So I do want elected officials to feel like, hey, this is actually from what happened, and this is my point of view. This is part of the story that you're missing. So to me, let's have a dialogue. Let's talk things through. And I don't think that every elected official is evil and stealing and doing bullshit. I don't think that. There are a lot of good people trying to do good things in the community, but there's some boo-boos amongst our midst too. We need to be able to flush them out so that we can keep pushing great leaders to help us through, especially in this time. We got to have information. So keep sending me the tips. Keep sending me the documents. Keep in the comments, y'all. Keep giving me the tea, okay? Because that's what we're going to do. And so Touchstone, I don't like how you came at me. I don't like how you tried to, come with the lawsuit and all that stuff. This is not how this works. And somebody go give us some media training. This ain't how you want to keep, I see y'all in the comments. You want to have a better relationship with media, especially somebody like me, because I am fair. She tagged me on her platform saying what? Tisha Brown. I'm going back to the comments, y'all. I'm coming back. Who in their panties? That's a conversation for another day, JJ. Knowledge is power. We all need to be informed. Teach the people, JT. Hey, Chef Irie. Yes. That's why I was typing. All right. And that's what we're doing. That's why they're posting propaganda. Letitia, help me connect me with Katrina Touchstone. I already told somebody a mutual contact. I said, hey, give her my number. Let's have a conversation. Let me see what's going on before you try to come trying to hit me with a lawsuit. Girl, who you finna sue? You're not gonna sue me. There was no defamation. I didn't defame you. So you could join the platform to get informed. Okay, gotcha. I'll take a look at that, Tisha. But yeah, keep sending me the stuff, because what we're not gonna do is that. right? She's getting sworn in right now. But we contact you. Okay, Tisha, DM me. I'll get you my information so you can help me get that going. But I would love an exclusive interview with Katrina Touchstone. Come on the platform, boo. Come on. You're welcome. You're welcome. Our stories get picked up too, so we go viral. It's y'all saying keep. It's keep. I love it. I love it, right? So that's the tea with West Park. What else was on the docket? What else was on the docket? Somebody told me about some of these elected officials. I have a conversation with my good friend. He said it's something that the YNs say now. You getting too big for your business, too big for business. If it's some YNs in the chat, let me know. Y'all stupid. Just for anyone who's sharing the propaganda, you just got caught in the crossfire. Oh, I'm not in no crossfire, but I get what you're saying. So the YN say something like, you get too big for your business. You get too big for the business. Oh, I'm mad if I'm butchering this. But it's pretty much a saying like, you getting too big, like, you getting too big for yourself. Like, you getting too big-headed. You getting too, like, you feel like you the show, right? And so what they was telling me, the YNs be saying, if you feel like you that big, we finna make it your birthday, right? I need Corey to break this down. But what I'm saying, yes, that's what it is. You think you bigger than a program. See, I knew it was gonna be a YN. I knew it was gonna be somebody who could give me. Thank you, Lex. I knew you knew. I knew you knew. And so what this person was saying to me is they feel like a lot of elected officials, the ghettos will put it in the chat. This is it. He was saying that a lot of elected officials feel like they bigger than the program. So sometimes we got to show them it's their birthday, right? And what he meant by that was like, on your birthday, you feel like it's all about you. Like, we gonna blow you up. We finna put a spotlight on you. So for y'all who feel like y'all bigger than the program, we gonna make it your birthday. We gonna make it about you. We gonna blow it up. We gonna amplify what you're doing. And here's the thing, something else too. Y'all have cracking up with the YNs in the chat, right? It's something else. Ooh, not the ghettos. Not the ghettos. Yes. What we want to do. This is a tip. That's what I was going to say. A tip to residents. When people start squirming and acting funny about being amplified and telling the truth, that's a sign that they may be doing some shit that they want to hide. So when you start not wanting to talk and you want to be secretive and people are saying, hey, you did XYZ, or maybe there's rumors and stuff like that, but you don't want to address it, or you don't stand up for yourself. And I do get it. You can't chase every rumor down, but some things you may need to address. And if there's an article being written or somebody's an investigative piece and they're trying to get answers, and that elected official is skating and doing the Lil' Kim around it, that may be a sign that they may not be, up to what they need to do. Also, too, I want y'all to understand a conversation that we had, switching gears a little bit to what's going on with Broward College. And we're going to actually have a exclusive interview with Bacardi Jackson is her name. I actually share her post about what's going on with Broward College. Bacardi Jackson. And they're removing people from the college, from people who I guess fall under DEI or progressive thoughts and things like that. So Broward College got it going on. And I'm gonna have Bacardi Jackson here to break it down. She posted a whole expose with receipts. Let me see if the presenter let me show y'all some tea on what. It ain't gonna let me do it. Never mind. She done already blacked out. Oh God, can y'all see me? I can't even share it with y'all, but go to my page. I shared it. It's a post from Bacardi Jackson, and she's talking about what's going on right now with the with Broward College. And so removal of Bacardi Jackson from Broward College Foundation Board of Directors. That is what happened under the leadership or direction from a guy named Tory Austin. If you guys remember last election cycle, we actually had community advocate and former West Park elected official Brian C. Johnson on the show, and we were talking about candidates who were backed by Moms for Liberty, which was a Republican group that is a part of the Project 2025. And they have this mandate that they want to have conservative curriculum in schools. And they were backing candidates who fit that agenda. And Tori Alston was one of those people who had affiliation or backing from them. And so we had a show last election cycle. Brian was on talking about it. It went crazy. Tori jumped in the comments and was like, I'm here. We could talk. Tori jumped on and we gave him opportunity to share his side, but him and Brian was going back and forth. But Brian was also trying to warn the community, like, hey, vote. This is his affiliation with Ron DeSantis could be problematic. And although Tori did not win the election, he's still an appointee by Ron DeSantis. And I think a part of his work that he's doing is, you know, removing people from Broward College in different capacities. And something that was shared with me is that the reason why this is problematic is because even though those elected officials, those candidates didn't win their seats in Broward County for the school board, because they didn't win, they're now looking at higher institutions of education where they can affect different things going on in the college. And so Broward College right now is having some friction and some issues. And there's connection to Ron DeSantis through this guy, Tori Alston. So Bacardi's going to come on. We're going to get that schedule where she could break that down and let y'all know what's going on, why it's happening, and what people can do, to support the school and college and her. So yeah, guys, all of that to say, elections have consequences. When we don't participate, that's a vote for the whatever side that you're not for. When we don't learn what's going on and get in tune into channels like this that give you information that you can make best decisions, the community loses, right? And so elections have consequences, but I'm hoping that I do feel like there's a difference with people who feel like they're waking up. And I think our current federal government and people in power right now have people kind of on edge and paying attention. And they're like, yo, what the F is going on? And it got them looking from the top down, from federal, state, county, local. Like, I see people more engaged in what's going on. Also, to millennials, we got to stand up. We're in the acquisition phase of our life. A lot of us are parents, we're married, we're homeowners, we're C-suite executives at our job, we own businesses. And a lot of these policies and stuff affect our everyday life. And we're in a position where we're, the millennials have a larger demographic and population than baby boomers. So a lot of the decisions that are happening now are going to be on us. And so it's up to us to make sure that we are informed. So, because what happened, like, everybody know most people grandma, like my grandma was a super voter. A lot of people grandmas like are super voters or were super voters. So what happens when that generation dies out? That's just life. They're not going to be here forever, but they're the most engaged, right? We got to make sure that we're engaged, because stuff like this, like what I'm just talking about with the school board. If you're a parent, imagine if a conservative right-wing group had control over the elected officials in your district. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that everybody is not for that or against that, but here's, for example, if you're against that and you decided not to vote and those people got in, that could affect the way your child gets education in school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's that deep. It's people who are like, man, I keep seeing these potholes on my street and it's fucking up my tires. These services come through government. These are things that affect your everyday life. If you want to speak about these things, and here's the thing, I'll give kudos to the Miami Gardens residents. They be in there talk about everything. They be like, the light on my street ain't working. This ain't working. The code enforcement, they be in there demanding their things, okay? This is bothering me. But you get what I'm saying? So it's like, let's get involved, especially millennials. Read an article, watch a podcast, tune in, ask me, like, let's make sure we're informed, because when your property taxes are going up, when you can't, the market is crazy, jobs are not there, schools are not funded. These people control the budgets that control the everyday social services that we take that we take advantage of. So that's me on my soapbox. I wanted to share something with 18th Ave, but I'm gonna wait till I do the article on it. But just a quick update. I did speak to Commissioner Hardiman. As y'all saw, my story got picked up on Voices with Jawan Strader on NBC. You could check out clips from that on our website. Also, too, that conversation was a much needed like healing moment. And something that was interesting that is not getting a lot of play is that Santonio Carter, father of King Carter, the baby, the angel that was murdered by a stray bullet back in 2016, I think. Don't quote me if the year is incorrect, but he was on the show and he actually spoke about how he felt when he heard Commissioner Hardeman's words on my podcast. He said he was hot at first. He's definitely said I was hot at first, like people had to calm me down. But he said once he had a conversation with Commissioner Hardeman, that he got understanding and understood what he meant, that he didn't mean any harm with his words. And he also too kind of doubled down and said, Commissioner Hardeman was right that people, support street namings of kids, murdered kids, some not people, elected officials. Some elected officials support that because it's a photo op, or it's a opportunity, but they don't come back and support and improve the community in real ways. And that was the point that Commissioner Hardeman was making. And Miss Blaze Carter, or Santonio Carter, he agreed with it. And I thought that was interesting that as a parent who, was affected by what was said, could also find common ground and understanding in what Commissioner Hardeman meant. And it was a good moment to see that kind of negativity come to a rest and have some resolve. I saw a lot of groups who were upset, and like I said, rightfully so. They were, emotional. The words were blunt and kind of harsh, but there wasn't a lot of coverage on people saying, hey, I actually had a conversation with him. We got to a resolve, and this is where we are with it. So that's on our website as well. And definitely wanted to make sure y'all saw that. And like I said, shout out to NBC, Jawan Strader, my guy. I started as an intern when he was an anchor at CBS. And that was kind of like a full circle moment for him to feature a podcast interview that I did with Commissioner Hardeman on his show and have it kind of like the basis of what they were talking about, right? So y'all go check that out on HalloNewsMiami.com if you haven't seen that feature of us and our commentary on that conversation. Before I let y'all go, I want to share something briefly with y'all on why I took my break. Hey, boo, bringing positive community to celebrate my grade. So the importance of mental health, yo. And at some point, I think I'm going to bring my therapist on so we could kind of talk about this more. But March 28th, I was at dinner with my family in the Charlotte area. We were at a rooftop. I was with my fiance and with my aunt, Claudette, and while I was there, a young man, and I'm now at this point for sure that he was a Black guy, young guy. His locks are seared in my brain, and he jumped from the 16th floor of the rooftop to his death, and he committed suicide right in front of me and everybody else who was there enjoying dinner with their family and friends that night. And that was a Friday. So the day after my second episode of this show, I saw somebody in their life. It was traumatic. It was shocking. And I'm still processing why I saw what I saw. And the crazy ironic part was my fiance or my aunt didn't see him. So they just saw people reacting and they thought it was a bird or something, like, because people were ducking in shock or whatever. Like our brains couldn't compute what we saw. And sorry, I should have said a trigger warning. So I don't, I'm sorry if I'm triggering anybody who's watching right now. That wasn't my intention. Just wanted to share what happened. And so after that, I went into a state of shock and a quietness. I didn't want to talk on the phone. I didn't want to work. I did at first. I started working because I was trying to get my mind off of it, but then I was all these different emotions were going on. And at some point I'll share with you guys what's viewing something like that can do to you. And just the importance of mental health and what we can do to help people in our community to not feel like there's no hope, and to give them resources and tools, but also to be a village for people who may have experienced witnessing something like that. So yeah, so the last 2 weeks while you guys, like we were getting momentum with the show and we had that high, and I just felt like I was stopped in my tracks. And something that a perspective that my therapist shared with me, she said that, you know, she asked me, was I a spiritual person and did I believe in God or the devil? Yes, Valerie. Seriously, others will know they're not alone with what they're going through. Definitely, Valerie. She asked me something. She was like, you know, have you heard of like when you're about to make a breakthrough or you're about to do something big, that the enemy will try to stop you so that they can, you know, throw you off your game, or like they'll throw a wrench. And I said, actually, yeah. I was like, I grew up in church, and so I definitely believe that there's negative and positive forces. I may not call them God and the devil anymore, but I do believe in that. And she said something to me that kind of like stopped me. She was like, she was like, maybe the enemy saw that you were moving through and you were, you know, beating these things in your life and winning in a sense of like your mental health, like things with your family were getting better, but you know, you were healing from things that are in your past with an abusive boyfriend, and you had this new love in your life and this new home, and your business was growing, and you were getting these grants and you're growing your team, and then your show started, you know, the podcast was taking off and you were finding your voice and sharing this information with the community. And she was like, you noticed that you said you couldn't speak. She was like, the enemy, she was like, do you think maybe the enemy was trying to take your voice because they saw that you were getting strength in that? And she's like, I'm not, you know, we'll never know why you saw what you saw. And, you know, we'll never know the exact reason, but she's like, these are some things just to think about. And she was like, don't let the enemy, stop you. She's like, there may be moments where you slow down. Maybe you have to deal with traumatic things, but she was like, keep going, because that's what the enemy wants you to do. They want you to be quiet. They don't want you to talk. They don't want you to use your voice because there's power in your voice. And I was like, Dr. Tasha, you better come in here with this word and help me heal from this traumatic random thing that had nothing to do with me, but now has like effing rocked my soul, my life, my, you know, just being, you know? And if you know me personally, I'm a super empathetic person. My therapist calls it she calls it pretty much a therapeutic word for scary. Like I'm a super scary person, right? And so hyper vigilant, that's the medical term or mental health term that she said, which is scary, like people who are scared of things, right? And so I just became super like paranoid and anxiety and like thinking that these bad things were going to happen to me these last few weeks. And I just had to kind of come down. And she told me that I probably, you know, not probably, she said, you're experiencing PTSD. And so, thank you, God. This is so God allowed me to be here at this moment. Wow. Confirmation. Wow. Thank you, guys. I hope that our story, I'm sharing it with you guys. Thank you. There's power in your voice. Thank you, Tam Bam. I love you. We're with you, Janae. So when she said that, I just was like, okay, you're on the right path. And here's the thing, I've been in therapy probably now going on 8 or 9 years now. So I know that there's a process to healing. And I just was like annoyed that I'm like, I know I'm going to have to go through this. And there's going to be moments where I may have depression or sadness or annoyance or just recluse, like, you know, wanting to be to myself. I also told like, you know, some of my team members early on what was going on. Like, so the next few weeks, if I was rocky or, not easily reached, or I'm not talkative, is because of this traumatic incident that happened, but being an entrepreneur, I couldn't really take off, but I took some time. And so thank you, mommy. And so I shared that with them and just let them know that I just may need some time. And so I'm sharing that with you guys because I felt so guilty not doing the show. And I was like, man, we're building this momentum and I'm trying to keep things going. And I know the algorithm feeds off of this stuff. And I just didn't have it in me. And I literally, there were days where I just was whispering, and because I felt like my voice, I felt like I couldn't speak. It's something seeing someone be that hopeless, be that without faith that it'll be better. I don't know, what, the darkness that person was in, the emotions I was feeling. And I'm still, just like I said, I'm still trying to process what I saw. And thank God I didn't see impact. And here's the thing, my brain couldn't even compute when I saw him jump. I thought he was going for his phone. That's how I disconnected from what I was seeing. I couldn't process what I saw. And that's the closest to death that I've ever been. In that, you see people sick and family, but that was different. That was a heaviness. And I was a little hurt and annoyed because I felt like he had transferred some of that heaviness and hopelessness onto me and traumatized me. And I just wanted to spend time with my family. I didn't ask for that, and I was like, universe, why did I have to see that? I was like, I was in a good place mentally. I was doing good. And I just felt like it had set me back 5 years in my progress of mental health. So all of that to say, if I need a break, y'all, if I have to take a week or so off the next, couple of weeks or months, I'm not sure. It's coming to me in waves of sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm don't want to talk or, to people. One of my good friends, I talked to Papa Keith, we're really, really close, and he kept calling me. He was trying to talk to me. And I was like, I had to finally tell him, I was like, PK, I can't, my soul, as you said, Valerie, sometimes your soul need rest. And I will say one of the good things that came out of it was appreciation for life, an appreciation from my fiance, who just was so helpful. Appreciation from my team, who was understanding, but also too, just a time to reflect. And it gave me some time to just be still. I also too was at the same time experiencing burnout. I traveled a lot in Q4 and Q1. I traveled a lot between Miami and Charlotte. And so I think I know I was getting burnt out, and then seeing that, and it just was like a pause. And sometimes God use certain things to make you pause, to reflect, if you're not taking the hints yourself. And I don't want to keep learning lessons like this, God. But sometimes I've had to have that in different times of my life, where I'm not paying attention to the universe and the signs of me needing to have balance and pause. And sometimes this traumatic thing that happened to make me stop and reflect and rest and reset and regroup. But yeah, y'all take care of your mental health. I wanted to share that with y'all. Like I said, I feel like there's still a lesson in this that I need to learn, that I need to share. And I do want to, like I said, have this conversation with my therapist, with you guys, about mental health and how we deal and how we move past. Also, too, it gave me empathy for people, and it made me think about how I want to be as a journalist as well. And I don't want to be, And that's what I was saying about Touchstone. I'm like, I'm not here to destroy you. I'm not here to ruin your life. I want to tell the truth and share information, but also too, to have grace with people and understand people are human beings and you never know what they're going through. And trying to approach my work with as much grace and understanding as I can. I'm not perfect. I may not get it right all the time, but that's definitely now in my mindset, because I never want to be the catalyst of somebody feeling that dark and that hopeless and wanting to do that. So yeah, that's what I've been going through these last few weeks. When I SOS platform, Valerie, let me know. When I'm better and I'm in the place where I don't want to cry talking about it. You can't be afraid to reach out just to deal with life. Thank you. Yeah, I would like to take you up on that offer, Valerie, but thank you guys for watching. This has been another amazing episode of the Can We Talk podcast. Like I said, our shows always seem to end on these deep spiritual things, and I love that. If that's what our brand is and that's what we're gonna do, I want to not only just give y'all tea, but also too, let's enrich our souls and our spirits in this process. And that's really who I am at the core of things. Like, I'm not here to hurt people. I'm not here to be a shock jock or this, this person, like that. Like, I really care about people, and I want them to be good. And I pray that y'all are taking care of y'all mental health, coping in healthy ways. Oh, I love you more, JJ. Thank you, Valerie. I hope y'all are coping. Talk to people when you need to. Don't feel like you're alone. Build your support system. Get mental health if you need it. Some people may need to take medicine to balance out emotions and feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that. But take care of yourself. To see I never want to see someone that hopeless again. I never want anybody I care about to feel that hopeless again. I don't want to feel like that, and something about seeing that just, thank you, Brother Marshall. It's something about seeing that just kind of makes me want to hug everybody that I love dear to my heart. And I love y'all for supporting me. I love y'all support of the platform. And I appreciate y'all seeing value in what we're doing. And I hope that we continue to build and grow. We had a good, viewing today, good engagement today. And yeah, that's the trauma I've been going. Sorry to trauma dump on y'all. Sorry, I didn't. And I actually held back on some of the details because my fiance, here's the thing, I'm a storyteller, so I could really paint a vivid picture. So I don't want to do that to y'all. That's not what I'm here for. I just wanted to just remind everybody to love themselves, love on other people, have grace for other people. And to you just never know what other people are going through. And yeah, just y'all give me some grace. So if I say, hey, I'm not feeling well today, or I need to take a break from the podcast, I could be having some mental things that I'm working through. But I just want y'all to know I'm good though. I'm feeling better and feeling more like myself again. And I'm excited about the work. I actually was happy and excited to do, my research and talking and today. And this is the first time I kind of did something normal with my work. And so this stuff helps me as well. So definitely appreciate y'all and the community that we're building. And so I love y'all. Make sure y'all send y'all story ideas to me, because this is the thing, the entrepreneurship doesn't stop. Like, even in trauma, you're like, here's the thing. I don't know if this is a joke. This is a way that I cope. I try to find something funny in what's going on, right? So don't think I'm, crazy or something. I could be a little bit, my sense of humor could be a little dark, but when I got home from seeing the situation, I was like, God damn, I don't got time to be
to be traumatized right now. I got work to do. I got to put out my newsletter. I got to get these. I was trying to hire somebody. I'm like, I got to get my job description together. Like, that was my mindset. I'm like, girl, can you be human and let yourself process what you just saw that was not normal? You're not okay. But the entrepreneur, like, I just was like, yo, I gotta write this. I gotta do this. And maybe that was a way for my brain to be like, let's get your mind off of it. But I thought that was a little bit hilarious. It's like, girl, you just saw somebody jump to their death and you talk about articles and what you got to do and what you don't got time for. It's like, bitch, slow down. Okay. But yeah, I slowed it all the way down. Also, too, something else that helped me through this process was watching the show Billions. I don't know if anybody's seen the Showtime show. I won't do any spoilers, but I binged that. And it kind of like something about seeing this world of a hedge fund and stock markets and business. And it just kind of totally took me out of whatever I was thinking. But it also too gave me motivation for my business and my own personal finances and how I want to build my own wealth. And so that was something that helped me. And I've always been a person who loves TV and love the world of film and storytelling. So it helped me escape into a different world and help me kind of also to focus on some things with my business and growth. So I do feel better coming out of this rest as well. So yeah, I just want to let y'all know I am good, but I'm human, right? Thank you. Before I keep rambling on and on and on, I'm gonna let y'all go finish the rest of y'all night, and we'll see y'all next week. I love y'all. Y'all take care. And make sure y'all like and subscribe. Tell somebody, tell a friend to watch our podcast. Follow us on social media. Also, too, big win. We hit 10K on Facebook. We have more than 10,000 followers. That was one of my goals, to reach 10K. Love you more, Tammy. And so that's a win that happened during this time. So thank you. Okay, we have some good news coming through. And so, yeah, we're steadily growing on Instagram, but Facebook, the algorithm over there has been loving your girl. So we love that. That's one of our wins. And so, like I said, tell people to follow us on social media, like and subscribe, send us news tips, send it to info@hilonews.com. You could DM us on social media too, if you have tips. And also to just, tell somebody if you know a business owner or advertiser or sponsor, if you know of a grant. That stuff helps us do the work that we're doing. It allows me to expand our team and our investigative journalism. And we appreciate the support from the community. Yeah. So without further ado, I will let y'all go. Oh, also too, gonna play some ads. Gotta pay some bills before we get out of here. But love y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, mommy. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
When the last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it. I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. We can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
So we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Full checkup once a year, and make sure you ask the doctors to get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay.